Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Zach's Credit Card Guide. Today we're going to talk quick about why you should always lower your credit lines on your cards. If you are new to the channel, we do a lot of credit topics, a lot of card reviews and redemptions, so if that interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But let's get started. So guys, we're coming to you today from the JW Marriott Desert Ridge outside of Phoenix, Arizona. It's a beautiful property, and we'll be doing a property review later, so make sure to hit subscribe to see that. And today we're going to talk briefly about why you should always lower your credit limits on your cards. There are some reasons why people keep high limits on their cards. I think one, just because nobody really thinks to lower them. You get approved for whatever limit and just leave it alone. Or I think some people, maybe it's a little bit of an ego thing to have super high limits on all of your cards. Now there's really no reason to have high limits on your cards. Now one thing that goes into your FICO score is utilization, and you want to keep that under 10% at all times if you can. Now with your daily spending, as long as you're at or below 10%, anything above that that's keeping your utilization lower than that is really not doing much for you. Sure, 3% is better than 8% or higher, but again, under 10 really doesn't matter all that much. And the downsides to keeping high limits, I think, outweigh the positives. Now, one aspect is with Chase. Now, most data points say that with Chase, they want to keep you at or below about 50% of your stated income. So what that means is when you start to bump your head against that is when you're going to start getting denied applications, a lot of pending applications, and you may have to call reconsideration more often. I have several cards with Chase that I got over the past year and a half, and I have never had to call reconsideration, and that's because I proactively manage my credit lines. For Chase and all other issuers, it's a risk factor. They don't want to keep giving you more and more credit because that increases their risk, and to them there's really no upside to it. So if you lower your limits, if you want to get another card, it's going to make the process a lot easier. So let's say, for instance, you've got a Sapphire Reserve, a Freedom Unlimited, and a Freedom, and now you want to go after the Hyatt card. And let's say you're at about 50% of your income. You go ahead and apply for it. You're probably going to get denied, or maybe a phone call saying that you need to move credit around. I don't know about you. I'd rather avoid that process entirely. I'd rather just get it approved. So my system is that on my main cards, I leave sufficient credit that I don't have to worry about it, and all of the other little ones that I might break out once in a while, like my Southwest cards, or even my Freedom Unlimited that I know I'm not putting a ton of spending on, I keep them at around $3,000 or $4,000, because that's a respectable line. If I need to use them for some reason, there's plenty of credit there. But again, on these ancillary kind of complementary cards that work inside of my system, I don't need a bunch of credit there, so what's the point? And my utilization never goes about 2 or 3% of what I've got available. So why not just lower it and avoid any issues that you might have? So again, like I said, I think for a lot of people it might be an ego thing. They really want high credit limits, but again, it really doesn't do anything besides make you look like a bigger risk. So why do it is kind of how I think about it. Now with Chase and most major issuers, you can lower your limits pretty simply. I'm able to do it through a secure message or a chat function, and I've never had any issues about it. I just send them a quick message, hey, can you please lower the limit to whatever you pick? I like a couple thousand, so just pick a number, whatever works for you, and just send them a message and say, hey, can you please lower the limit on this card to that much? And now you've carved out more credit that you can apply for, and you'll have fewer issues getting cards. So that's it this time, guys. Just a quick tip for those getting into the hobby, or even if you are more experienced and you haven't thought about this, this is what I recommend, and again, it's worked brilliantly for me. But my question for you guys is, do you already do this? Have you ever thought about this? Let me know down in the comments what you think. But otherwise, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a like if you enjoyed it, or share it with a friend who's interested in the hobby, and make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already. That's all I've got for you this time, guys. See you at the next one.